Ladies and gentlemen, this is the YouTube channel vlog show of inspiration and realness. Also, this is the YouTube channel vlog show of positivity, personality, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, and now the perpetrator of these shenanigans, Big Beefy E himself from his Big Beefy Man Cave in New Bedford, Massachusetts, Mr. Shenanigans himself, and the two-time Chilling 3000 2022 End of the Year Awards winner, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 646 of the show. It's Saturday, the 17th of June, 1:22 p.m. A little rainy out there. It was a little rainy. It kind of slowed down a little bit. Been a crazy weather today. I'll tell you, I made it. I beat the storm at work. When I got out of work, getting to the car, a different story. A little different challenge, but still end up making it. End up getting my lunch, and ended up going home. So I promise you, I will get this haircut sometime this week because it is summertime. In fact, it will be summertime this coming Wednesday, the 21st of June. But, however, let's get right into what we want to talk about today. We'll talk about what happened last night on SmackDown. And believe me, if you're a wrestling fan like myself, I know my friend Jody Scout says he doesn't watch the WWE anymore because Cody Rhodes got screwed and everything else in the process. But I cover WWE. I want to cover AEW, Impact Wrestling. That's what I like to do, and I'm going to have a lot of fun. Doing that. So Kayla Braxton decided to kick off the show. The lovely and gorgeous Kayla Braxton was at the parking lot waiting for Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman. And when they got there, she tried interviewing them, and all three of them blew her off. Disrespectful, Roman Reigns. You don't blow off a lady. You nuts. Kayla Braxton is a beautiful woman. I wouldn't blow off Kayla Braxton. Although for a few other female wrestlers I like, but that's okay. We'll get them all together. I don't care. I feel like Dan Fielding of Night Court. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, got it on DVD. The whole complete set. A lot of people, I put it on Twitter, and a lot of people got a lot of responses out of that. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. So, anyways, they kicked it off in tag team number one contenders gauntlet match. And whoever wins this gauntlet match will face Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the undisputed tag team titles in about 2 weeks, I believe. So, anyways, it started out with the Street Profits versus the Brawling Brutes. And heck of a matchup, but the Brawling Brutes eliminated the Street Profits. Kind of a shocker, because I thought the Street Profits would probably make it all the way. But then the Brawling Brutes went up against the Good Brothers of the OC, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Heck of a matchup, heck of a fight, but the Brawling Brutes win that one. Gauntlet match number 3 for the Brawling Brutes, the LWO's Legado del Fantasma team of Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. Brawling Brutes beat them. And then one of the last minute additions to the party of this Hit Row, Brawling Brutes, short work. All I do is go a bro kick, and I think Top Dollar did not see that sucker coming. But I am sure there'll be a few down the road. But then the Brawling Brutes had and Pretty Deadly, the last team to enter this match. Pretty Deadly had the advantage because the Brawling Brutes went through 4 teams. Pretty Deadly was the 5th team, but the Pretty Deadly, with their chicanery, ended up picking up the victory, and Pretty Deadly are officially now the number one contenders for the tag team titles. But then, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, during that gauntlet match, they were scouting out the gauntlet match. And then Owens and Zayn came out to address Pretty Deadly. And then all of a sudden, Kevin Owens says, I'm sick and tired of hearing these two talk. Let's go. He beat them up. And Sami Zayn goes, you know what? It's a good idea. They ran to the ring, but Pretty Deadly flees it. Paul Heyman talks to Roman Reigns. And as he talked to Jey, no, my tribal chief, then talk to Jey. So, another matchup that could have Money in the Bank implications is Zelina Vega versus the lovely Io Sky of Damage Control. And it seems like a little miscommunication between Bayley and Io Sky cost Io the match as Zelina Vega picks up the victory. But a lot of folks seem to be okay with this because it builds in the story line where I think Io Sky is about to break off from Damage Control on her own. I don't know how Dakota Kai would feel about it, but might I digress. And Bianca Belair talks to Adam Pearce, says, you know what, I'm sick and tired of trying to do things the right way. I'm doing this my way. So Adam Pearce is like, all right, whatever. And so Io and Bayley were arguing, and Bayley's trying, oh, I'm trying to help you and all that. And then Shotzi goes, yeah, really? And I'll tell you what, I'll challenge you to a matchup. And if I win, I'll take your spot in the Money in the Bank. Fine. So, and then Io goes, she accepts. So, and Bayley's like, what are you trying to do? It's, I'm trying to help. I love Io Sky. She's great. Then the Grayson Waller effect. You know, the Grayson Waller kind of toned it down, even though during the there was like a little, you know, like a little WWE shorts on YouTube where Grayson Waller's flipping out about what certain sets go on, what and whatnot, and everything else. But the Grayson Waller effect, you know, the guest was Charlotte Flair, and he talked to Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair goes, how, you know, 15-time world champ and all that. Talking about being the 15-time champ, Bianca Belair interrupts Ric Flair. And not Ric Flair, Charlotte Flair. I think Ric Flair on the brain. Charlotte Flair is Ric Flair's daughter. Might I digress? So, and then she goes, you know what? I'm going to take the title back. I'm going to do things my way. So Bianca Belair a little angry about how Asuka did defeat her and all that. So it looks like Asuka, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being a triple threat match. I would not be surprised one iota if this ends up being a triple threat match for Money in the Bank. Who knows? Then Paul Heyman was talking to Jey Uso, and Jey Uso says, you know what? If I become tribal chief, you're out of the bloodline still. But so it seems like Paul Heyman walked away with said mixed tag match. AJ Styles and Michin Mia Yim to take on Karrion Kross and his lovely bride Scarlett. And well, Karrion Kross and Scarlett did pick up the victory in a good matchup over AJ Styles and Michin. That was Heyman then answers to Reigns, and Reigns was not very happy. He says, "Nope," and Solo Sikoa gets away. Is there anything you want to do, my tribal chief? And then Roman Reigns goes, "Chill, we got this." So Caleb Braxton interviews Cameron Grimes, and he's about talking, and then freaking Baron Corbin, the big crybaby that he is, attacked Cameron Grimes. Mr. Corbin's got bigger fish to fry. An NXT Gold Rush when he takes on Carmelo Hayes for the NXT Championship. And then Rey Mysterio comes out and he introduces Santos Escobar. And Santos Escobar comes out and thanks Rey Mysterio. And you know what? The two that... I had a feeling that when Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar, I thought it would be a great feud, but them together as a team, like Rey Mysterio being a mentor to Santos Escobar, I think it's a cool, beautiful thing, because the fact of the matter is this, you know, it shows the family, the love, you know, and the respect that these two gentlemen have for each other. Second generation stars, growing up in the business and all. So it's you know, even Santos Escobar respects Rey Mysterio Sr. So that's a huge deal. And I'll tell you what, you know, that makes things a little bit. That makes me respect Santos a little bit more, and it's really cool to see that. Beautiful. Santos Escobar in the LWO, they got a good thing going. He took on LA Knight. LA Knight after LA Knight interrupts Escobar, and then Knight attacks Rey Mysterio, and then Santos Escobar ended up brawling with him, and then they had their matchup, and Escobar did pick up the victory, but then Knight decided to be a sport and attacking Escobar after the matchup, but then Rey Mysterio decided to chase LA Knight away. So I expect those two to go at it in Money in the Bank. Sami Zayn looked at Jey Uso when Jey Uso was about to go out there and answer, and Sami Zayn's like nodding his head. So Jey Uso's thinking about it. Then Reigns, Sikoa, and Heyman head to the ring. And, you know, here's the crazy part. Paul Heyman is still holding on to those two other championships when Reigns got his Undisputed Championship. Sheepus, what are you trying to make Roman Reigns look like? The Ultimate Dragon? Please. Okay. Jey Uso was heading to the ring afterwards because they called him out. And then Jimmy Uso's name was mentioned. He interrupts Roman Reigns. And trying to convince Jey, hey, Roman's been using it, and then Roman and Heyman have been saying, oh, he's resentful towards you for being the next, the right hand man, and then Jey was upset with Jimmy, and it got to the point where Jey Uso tells his own brother Jimmy that he's out of the bloodline, but then Jey Uso says, I'm out too. Super kicks Roman Reigns in the face. I'm like, it was bound to happen. It was like we were shocked, and the crowd went completely nuts. And then Solo Sikoa was kind of shocked, went to go after Jey, and then both brothers super kicked their younger brother, and then they both super kicked Reigns again. I was shocked. Seriously, I was shocked. I was shocked. So, but then the bloodline is officially over, and it seems like the Usos. I would not be surprised. Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns versus the Usos in a tag team match. That's bound to happen, either at SummerSlam or at Money in the Bank. It was a shocker. It was a shocker, and moves now. And I wouldn't be surprised if Roman Reigns decided to put the blame on Sami Zayn for this. It's your fault, Sami Zayn. I was like somebody clobber Roman Reigns with the Money in the Bank briefcase and cash in on him. So, anyways. So, let's go talk about NXT Level Up, what happened last night there. Women's tag team action. Danny Palmer and Keilani joining the newcomers to NXT, take on Elektra Lopez and Lola Vice, who have been joining forces over at NXT Level Up, and Lopez and Vice did pick up the victory. I would not be surprised if these two ladies would be recruited by Zelina and form a ladies version of the LWO. Besides, Elektra Lopez was part of the Legado del Fantasma in NXT at one point. Kelly Kincaid interviewed Big Body Javi, or Big Mouth Javi, he's like the Javier Bernal. He's going to think that, this whole thing, the Gallus thing with Stacks would probably keep him occupied and probably beat him. In other action, Bryson Montana against Boa, and Boa's been yet to pick up the victory since his return from injury, and finally picked up the victory in a good matchup against Bryson Montana. Channing Stacks Lorenzo in the main event versus Javier Bernal, and Stacks end up picking the victory. And that means he can continue on trying to find out who ratted Tony D'Angelo out, and he may think it is Gallus. So, alright, so that is it for episode 646 of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977 for now. On the next episode, we're going to talk about what happened on AEW Rampage last night. And tonight will be the premiere of AEW Collision. Can't wait for it. So that's good. So, until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, please take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with A Sweet Bowl for Raving Dingleberries Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another great episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Until the next episode, goodbye for now.